A very poignant day today in Hutchinson Square here in Douglas, of course, which was a very centre of an internment camp during the war and the 70th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, Lindsay.
That's correct, yeah.
And what a day for a service that you've organised here. Can you tell us what we're going to see here? What's happening?
Well, I happen to know Ian, who is a gardener and the son-in-law of a friend of mine. And I just heard this story a few months ago that Ian had visited Auschwitz with his father a few years ago, and they had actually picked up a handful of acorns from one of the mature oak trees that were right next door to the crematorium in Auschwitz. And Ian brought them home, potted them, and actually grew 5 of little saplings of these oak trees. And Ian told me the story that he was hoping that at least one of these oak trees could be used on the Isle of Man somewhere special that would commemorate the Jewish community that perished in Auschwitz, but also for everybody that is prejudiced against for whatever reason. So it was to commemorate the people who died for their beliefs, their race, their ethnicity, anything where they're class deemed as different.
And the thing is that oak tree is old enough to have been there when all this was going on, of course.
That's it. Ian says it was a huge mature oak tree, and that it must have been there for a long time, and it would have been there when all the horrors were going on at the death camp. I was there myself in August, and whilst I can't say that I actually saw that tree, I did see the camps and the crematoria.
So it's a circle of life, isn't it, really?
It is.
The way
it is.
You've
Yeah.
got this now planted here from little acorns, go big
oak trees.
Big oak
grow.
trees.
Yeah.
And this service today was actually well attended by quite a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of meaning to it.
We didn't want a big whole big ceremony with lots of pomp and circumstance. That's not what it's about. It was about remembering what happened and hoping above hope that it's never going to happen again. But sadly, when you look at things, the atrocities that are still happening around the world, but the scale on which this was done was just horrific. But it's just the fact that we now have something special here in this wonderful garden that the Douglas Borough Council are creating.
And of course, as I said at the beginning, the internment camp here, wasn't it?
For the internment camps.
Yeah.
So it's for everybody in that war that wants, needs some remembrance. But Ian wanted it to be very special. He wanted the Jewish prayer for the dead said, the Kaddish. So we wanted to make it focusing on what the tree was about, where it had come from, rather than a big pomp and ceremony. So we invited members of the Jewish community, and they've invited some of their friends, and that's what we wanted to do it for.
Now, if anyone comes and sees this small tree that's going to be growing, you'll see some stones around it. Can you tell us the significance of that?
Yes, whenever a Jewish person visits a place where somebody is laid to rest or memorial for a person who's died, they leave a stone to show that they visited. If anybody's seen Schindler's List, they'll see at the very end there's a whole line of people all lining up to put a stone. And when I was actually in Krakow in August, I went to the Jewish quarter, and there was a memorial there to the people who'd been taken to the ghettos, and people were leaving stones on that. So, it's amazing.
And to think that that'll be here long after we've all gone as well, won't it?
And the Douglas Borough Council have very kindly agreed to put a plaque there for us, which we were going to fund ourselves if they didn't want to do it, but they've said they will do it. And I just think it's very special, and I'm just really proud of what Ian's done, because he's not of the Jewish faith, but he's very, very committed to everybody is who they are. It doesn't matter where you come from, what race you are, what colour you are. It's human beings, and the people at Auschwitz were dehumanised, and that's the only word you can think of to describe it.